I'm John Arking. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow you. The Flagler County Commission has a new leader after Commissioner Dave Sullivan was selected as the new chairman, replacing Donald O'Brien. Commissioner Joe Mullins nominated Sullivan at Monday's meeting, which was approved unanimously. Commissioners then picked Mullins as vice chair. Sullivan says he plans to have a no-nonsense approach to his leadership of the board.
We're not going to let politics interfere with us doing a good job as commissioners, and my job will be to make sure we look at the facts and make decisions for the coming year based on the facts that are presented to us at the commission meeting. The one thing I have is experience. I have a lot of experience in a number of management positions where governmental-type procedures are used, so I don't have any concern about that part of running the chairmanship.
One of the first decisions Sullivan made in his new role was to ask for a special meeting December 1st to discuss the various committee assignments. In the past, that was done during a regular meeting, but Sullivan indicated he'd like to see some changes and wants to be able to discuss those at length. Meanwhile, for the first time in Palm Coast City history, a council member will serve a consecutive term as vice mayor after Nick Kloufas was unanimously selected to serve a second term in that role. Kloufas called the selection humbling and an honor.
I'm looking forward to continue serving as vice mayor. I really feel like I'm starting to hit my stride, and I'm kind of getting into a groove. But to know that I have the confidence of my peers on the council, it's incredibly humbling, but also a privilege and an honor.
The vice mayor has the same legislative powers and duties as any other council member, except he'll also serve as acting mayor when necessary. In that role, Kloufas can then have the same duties as Mayor Melissa Holland, such as presiding at city council meetings and being recognized as the head of city government for all ceremonial occasions. Kloufas was elected to Palm Coast District 3 seat in November 2016. At age 28, he was the youngest ever member of the Palm Coast City Council.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Delta Airlines nonstop to Atlanta, and now nonstop service to New York City via American Airlines.
A Palm Coast man was jailed after police say he abused his 10-year-old son. 45-year-old Ramon Pardo was charged with felony child abuse after officials at his child's elementary school reported to the Department of Children and Families that they'd seen indications the boy had been abused, including a bruised neck and foot. When asked, the boy said he'd been spanked as punishment for lying. Pardo and his partner, Billy Sprayberry Jr., adopted the boy and another child when they were very young. When questioned on Monday by Flagler County Sheriff's deputies about the incident, the pair said they'd become upset when the boy lied to them about schoolwork. Sprayberry said that Pardo planned to grab the boy, but his hand slipped and he ended up scratching the child on his neck and upper chest. Pardo then allegedly used a belt to whip the boy. That story was backed up by the boy's 8-year-old sister. A Department of Children and Families child protective investigator told the couple a safety plan would have to be implemented and that Pardo was to have no unsupervised contact with the children until a follow-up investigation determined otherwise.
Cities have to grow or they die, so says Mike Cocciola, the chair of the Flagler Democrat Club.
Coach said that there is a way to grow so that we don't lose our character.
We should not develop unless we really take into consider all of the environmental impacts of that development. I don't think we're doing that enough today.
Cocciola said that we also need to consider the water as we grow. He said that overdevelopment makes the matter of water intrusion worse. To listen to the entire interview, go to the Flagler Radio app and download the Free for All Friday pod. Tomorrow, Cocciola discusses the polarization of America. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Storm spotter classes are coming to Flagler. With more, here's Tony Magoo.
Flagler County Emergency Services and the National Weather Service will host a free Skywarn Storm Spotter class Friday night, December the 6th at 6 o'clock in the Emergency Operations Center. That class lasts about 2.5 hours. With me on the phone, we have Bob Pickering, who is the Flagler Emergency Management Technician. Bob, what is this class going to do?
The class will train folks to understand the basics of thunderstorm development and how thunderstorms are formed, and then to identify potential severe weather features within those storms, and then information to report and how to report it to the National Weather Service.
Bob, what's the purpose of the program?
Is to train volunteers to be extra eyes and ears of the National Weather Service, because the weather radar doesn't see it all. And there's been many times where a storm spotter has seen something that's helped get a warning issued out earlier than it would have been if it wasn't spotted.
Registration is required, and that can be done by calling Pickering at 386-313-4250. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm John Arking.